This is a bowl of local rocks that I keep on the dining room table. If ever we have visitors, I like to show them, and hopefully they can get an appreciation of the type of rocks we have right here in Western Australia. Most of these are self-collected. There might be one or two, maybe three or four that I've bought. That's what makes, but they are all local rocks. With the exception of a piece of sodalite, a blue rock that you'll see whizzing past every now and then. We don't get sodalite in Western Australia, but I just like it. So what I'll do is I will take a few of these aside, pick out a few of my favourites and describe maybe what they are as much as I know and where they can roughly be found. I'm not going to give away any locations, but yeah, just roughly where they are. All right, where to start? Actually, before I start, thank you to everyone who subscribed to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, please consider it. I'd appreciate that too. Anyway, my first rock is something called mookaite. Now this is from Mooka Creek in the Gascoyne Junction. The reason I'm showing this first is because it's probably my favourite rock that I've actually found. It just has all the colours and patterns and stuff that, I don't know, I really like. It's mookaite from Gascoyne Junction. This one here, this is chrysoprase. This was from the Kalgoorlie area. Chrysoprase, don't know what else to say about it. Just it's a nice light green colour. Always popular. Now this is something called Norina jasper. Well, most of these are only found in Western Australia, I guess. But again, West Australian rock. Norina jasper has some weird, nice colourings and patterns in it. Norina jasper. That's from Newman. Now this is the first of any rocks that I've bought. This is a piece of rose quartz. I'm sure we've got rose quartz in West Australia somewhere where I wouldn't know. And like I say, this is one that I bought probably at a swap meet. I lose track of where I've got rocks from in the end. Now this is interesting. This is, I guess it's common opal, what we call in Western Australia opalite. I've been through it before. People around the world don't like us calling it opalite because it's a trade name of man-made opal. But you know, we've been calling it opalite for 100 years, I guess. And so the name sort of stuck. So this is opalite. I discovered this where I found this by accident. Relieving myself by the side of the road, and I found a trench. I followed that trench along and I found a lot of this stuff. So yeah, it's nice greens, and I don't know, it might be like a seam agate opal type thing. I don't know, I don't really know. But yeah, that was found on the road to Burra Rock down from Coolgardie. I was actually on my way to look for dendritic opalite, which is where I found this, and this has dendrites in it. You can see them here, but it's a really odd form of dendritic opalite. Really beautiful, I think. Just the patterns, different colors and stuff. Very happy with that. And that's from Norseman, further down from Kalgoorlie. This is another piece of mookaite, just to show some of the colors that it comes in. This one I've actually partially polished. So some of them are part polished just to knock the sharp edges off and to give them a bit of gloss as well, bring the colors out. That's what that is. That's mookaite from Mooka Creek, Gascoyne Junction. Now this is a piece of pyrite. Beautiful. Fool's gold. You can see why it's called fool's gold. Fools think it's gold. This is from Leonora, I think it was, and just further out than Kalgoorlie. Now this is something called veracite. I really like it. It doesn't always tumble and polish very well. It can be a bit brittle. But yeah, beautiful colours. Again, West Australian rock. Now this is something we call breccia. Breccia means, if you were to say that it was a brecciated rock, it means it was a whole lot of other rocks. You can see it in there. At one point it was many different rocks that had been broken up. You know, it could be through earthquake or meteor strike or whatever. And then all those rocks reform, the minerals reform together over time. and become one rock again. And so this is basically brecciated jasper and maybe some chert as well. And that was from Payne's Find. Just a few months ago I was there. What's this one? Oh, this was a bit of a surprise. So this, I think you'd call it banded rhyolite. It's banded and it looks rhyolite-y, so that's what I'm calling it. It's very much like what you get in Nevada called wonderstone. This was found by accident when I went looking for dendritic opalite. I was going down the track, stopped, had a look, and I found a whole lot of this stuff, and I was very happy. I actually polished a whole batch of that, so that was in Norseman. Very happy with that. Now this is, pretty sure this is lepidolite. This was from around the Kalgoorlie area again. Pretty sure it's lepidolite. Terrible to polish. It's just too flaky. It has all these, you can probably see it, sparkly bits in there that just don't like to tumble. It just breaks up rather than tumble. Now when I went looking for dendritic opalite, this is a part of it. And again, this is partially tumbled. So tumbled and then polished, but not so much that it rounds off. But I just wanted to show some of the different colors that dendritic opalite comes in. That's the usual color you see. You get this sort of greeny yellow color. You get a more yellow color. And then you can also get these very dark ones. It's like the dendrites are so tight, they overcome the color, and just all you're seeing is the color of the dendrites in there. Really beautiful rock and easy to tumble, easy to find. It's everywhere down in Norseman. This, I expected a piece of chrysocolla. This was taken from a mine, an old abandoned mine, copper mine in Ravensthorpe. Copper mines are a fantastic place to go looking for rocks because you'll find stuff like this chrysocolla. Yeah, so that's it. And again, I just did a batch of chrysocolla that turned out really nicely. This is something called peanut wood. Now, peanut wood is really quite, what would you call it? Rare, I guess. But the way it forms is interesting. So millions of years ago, millions and millions of years ago, this would have been a piece of wood. I guess it's a pine type of wood, and worms, bugs eat into it. And then that ends up floating around, goes downstream, ends up in the ocean. And then where the bugs have eaten it away are the white areas, and that gets remineralized with whatever it is, I don't know. And the dark areas are the original tree that has been mineralized as well, fossilized if you like. So yeah, you get these weird petrified wood with these peanutty sections running through it. That's peanut wood. That's from, again, Gascoyne Junction area. Now this, I'm not really sure. All I can tell you is that it's got a bit of quartz banding and a lot of pyrite flecks. This was from Orabanda, up from Kalgoorlie. I just liked the way it looked, so I grabbed some pieces. I like the way it sparkles. So yeah, who knows what that is. This is something called picture jasper. Very much like banded jasper. I'm not too sure what the difference is. I guess just how patterned it is. So when I was picking up this was at Fields Find. There was lots of picture jasper and a lot of what I call banded jasper. It all looks very similar, just some looks more like a picture and some is just banded. So that's, I'm calling that picture jasper. It may well just be banded jasper. Another bit of mookaite, just to show the sort of patterns, colours that you find in mookaite. It's a beautiful rock. We're very lucky to have it here in WA. Nowhere else in the world gets mookaite, just us. Now this is something a lot of people consider pretty boring. It's called chert. I guess the name doesn't help. So yeah, this is chert, very basic rock found all over the world. This is from Mora in Western Australia. Only about 2.5 hours drive. Now this is another bought one. So I bought this at one of our club swap meets. This is a piece of native or raw copper. I've actually clear coated, so I gave it a quick scrub with an iron brush and clear coated it. If you don't, it goes like that. So I preferred that. So you got a clear coat. Now this is interesting. I'm calling this brecciated mookaite. The solid part, the white parts and the yellow parts definitely look like mookaite to me. But what it's in the matrix, the darker brown area, I don't know. But it does, it polishes well. So I'm happy enough with that. Now this I discovered for myself, coming back from Carnarvon, probably about 2 hours out of Carnarvon, heading south. There was a hill by the side of the road, and I thought that looks interesting, and went up there with my rock hammer, and sure enough, it was interesting. I found lots of this. I'm going to be heading back there, back to Gascoyne Junction and back to here in a few weeks, so I'll be making a video of that, showing the hill and how this stuff is scattered all about. So yeah, that's, I don't know what you call it, between Shark Bay and Carnarvon. This is a piece of green opalite, beautiful. And this is from, again, the Norseman area. Doesn't have the dendrites running through it. So dendrites are the branches. Dendrite, I think, is Greek for tree or branch. That's from Norseman. This is from the same place. This is another piece of what I'm calling banded rhyolite. Beautiful bands running through it. And again, it looks like Wonderstone from the US, which is a banded rhyolite, so that's what I'm calling it. This is a piece of tiger eye. So tiger eye has this stuff, these bands running through. It's actually asbestos. It's an asbestos type material. Because it's so compact, squashed together, it's no longer a health hazard. You don't get the fibers coming off like you do with the blue asbestos. This, I don't know if you can see the effect, the cat's eye effect. It's called chatoyancy. What that means, I don't know. I know what it means, I don't know where they got the name from. So yeah, tiger's eye. That's from up near Tom Price. This is another piece of mookaite. This is brecciated. So the same as that brecciated rock I showed earlier. It was a rock, or rocks, hit by a meteor or earthquake, whatever it is. It gets broken up and then it remineralizes back into one piece. But you still see all the lines. Really like, oh, I did like it. No, he's fine. Really like that one. This is from that place I found by accident down from Coolgardie, Burra Rock. And again, I expect it's common opal or opalite with agate sort of stuff in there as well. It's really quite interesting. You need to look at it closely to see it, but yeah, interesting. And again, that was a place I discovered. It's always better when you find your own places rather than someone giving you a map and saying, look, go here, you'll find tiger eye or whatever. It's just so much more exciting to find your own places. Now this is one of those pieces that, I don't know, it could be banded jasper or picture jasper. I'm calling this banded jasper. And again, it was from that same place at Paynes Find. Actually, it was Fields Find. Fields Find, Paynes Find, they're very close. And that was Fields Find. This is another bit from an old copper mine down at Ravensthorpe. And I expect it's mainly malachite, but it doesn't have the botryoidal sort of patterns you'd expect from malachite. So maybe it's just starting to, it was just starting to form on the rock, I don't know. But I'm calling that malachite, and that's from Ravensthorpe. Now this is another bought one, beautiful. This is amethyst, everyone knows amethyst. I'm hoping our club, the WA Lapidary Club and Rockhounding Club, goes this year looking for amethyst because it's beautiful stuff. And I would love to find some of my own. So yeah, that was a bought one. Amethyst, I don't know where, it's all over the state apparently. This is another banded jasper. This is probably what I call iron banded jasper. It has a dark iron band running through it. From Fields Find, Paynes Find again. Iron banded jasper. Now this is, you can see the pyrite there reflecting, shining gold, fool's gold pyrite. But I expect, I can't remember where I found this. You go that many places, you pick up rocks everywhere, you sort of forget after a while. But what it is it's hematite or iron ore. And the way you can find that is because a magnet sticks to it. So yeah, I'm happy to find that, but I wish I'd remembered where I got it. That's him. Another bit of lepidolite. From Leonora, I think this was. Again, a really nice colour and lots of nice sparkly bits, but doesn't polish or tumble. Well, it might polish well, it doesn't tumble well. What was next? Oh, another piece of mookaite. Again, just to show the range of colours and patterns you can get. It is amazing stuff from Gascoyne Junction. Now this is something called pink opalite, pink common opal. It's a fairly recent discovery up near Carnarvon, or again Gascoyne Junction. Quite rare. And I didn't find this. I don't know where I got this actually. But I've ended up with it. More banded or picture jasper. I guess if you can see a picture in there, we'll call it picture jasper. Otherwise it's banded jasper. Feels fine, pain's fine. Another bought one. This is smoky quartz. Everyone knows quartz, and then you get these smoky versions. It just depends, I think, on maybe heat or nearby minerals, whether it goes smoky like this or it stays clear or turns into amethyst. So I don't know where that's come from. Another mystery rock. This one I'm calling Verasite, but it doesn't quite look like Verasite. It seems more solid, sort of on the way to chrysoprase. I don't know whether they're related, Verasite and chrysoprase. Again, I don't know where I picked this up. You just walk along, you see something colourful, you pick it up, you put it in your bag, you forget where you got it. So that's another picture stroke banded jasper. Very nice colours, and this polishes very well, tumbles and polishes. Feels fine again. Now this is another piece from that hill that I discovered down from Carnarvon. Really like the patterns, and again I'm a bit biased because I discovered it. Well, I don't know if I discovered it, other people might have been there, but it was my own find. No one told me, go here and look for these. So yeah, I'll be going back there in a few weeks. And also I'll be going to Gascoyne Junction and looking for mookaite. So these are all different flavours of mookaite. Strawberry and cream. Now just different colours. Lots of nice pinks. Greys, purples. The usual sort of burgundy and yellow colours. And some of these. So yeah, like I said, I'll be going up in a few weeks back to the hill from Carnarvon, across to Mooku Creek. Well, not so much Mooku Creek, but just Gascoyne Junction, to a spot that I know I can find mookaite. And then I'll be heading across to Meekatharra and heading down looking for banded jaspers and something called magnetite crystals. Now they're really good fun. Not so much to look at, but just the way you collect them. I'll be making a video of all these places, but especially the magnetite crystals. It's just good fun. I'm sure it'll come up good on video. So that's it. Rough rocks from Western Australia. Rough as guts. Yeah, thank you. And again, if you feel like subscribing, I'd appreciate it very much. See you next time.